Have you ever looked up at the night sky and wondered what it would be like to walk on the surface of another planet? While commercial flights to Mars are still decades away, you do not actually need to leave Earth to experience the red planet. Scattered across our globe are landscapes so alien, so barren, and so deeply crimson that you might just forget what planet you are standing on. From bone-dried deserts and acidic rivers to frozen impact craters, these extreme environments offer a breathtaking glimpse into the extraterrestrial. Scientists and space agencies even use some of these locations to test their rovers and prepare astronauts for the harsh realities of deep space exploration. Pack your spacesuit and prepare for a terrestrial journey of astronomical proportions. Here are 10 surreal places that look exactly like Mars. Kicking off our list at number 10 is the Valley of Fire in the United States. Located just an hour outside of Las Vegas in the Nevada desert, this state park is a geological masterpiece of vibrant red Aztec sandstone. These massive rock formations were created from shifting sand dunes over 150 million years ago. When the sun strikes the jagged peaks at just the right angle, the entire valley appears to be engulfed in flames. This fiery glow perfectly mimics the rust-colored surface of Mars. The harsh, arid climate and sprawling dunes of fine red sand make it incredibly easy to imagine you have touched down in an alien crater. The area is completely devoid of lush vegetation, relying instead on petrified wood and ancient rock carvings to tell the story of its deep history. Walking through its narrow, twisting canyons feels like navigating the dried, ancient riverbeds of a distant world. It is no wonder that filmmakers frequently use this desolate, sun-baked landscape as a stand-in for alien planets on the silver screen. Coming in at number 9 is another iconic American landscape known as Death Valley. Situated in eastern California, this is the hottest, driest, and lowest national park in the country, offering a truly extreme environment. The sprawling landscape is a mesmerizing collection of cracked salt flats, rugged badlands, and towering sand dunes that stretch as far as the eye can see. Parts of the park, specifically an area aptly named Mars Hill, bear such a striking resemblance to the Martian surface that NASA has actually used it to test space rovers. The geological features here are incredibly similar to the rocky debris fields found on the red planet. Temperatures in Death Valley routinely soar well above 120 degrees Fahrenheit during the summer months. This punishing climate ensures that only the hardiest forms of life can survive, adding to the isolated, extraterrestrial atmosphere. Standing at Badwater Basin, surrounded by nothing but miles of blindingly bright, polygonal salt crusts, you will feel completely disconnected from the Earth you know. At number 8, we travel to the continent of Africa to explore the Makgadikgadi Pans in Botswana. This immense area is one of the largest salt flats in the entire world, formed by the evaporation of a massive ancient superlake. During the dry season, the water vanishes completely, leaving behind a seemingly endless expanse of shimmering, sun-baked crust. The sheer scale of this flat, featureless wasteland is deeply disorienting and incredibly reminiscent of the vast, dusty plains of Mars. Whirlwinds of red and gray dust, known as dust devils, frequently dance across the horizon. These swirling vortexes look exactly like the atmospheric anomalies captured by Martian orbiters. The desolation here is so absolute that you can actually hear your own blood rushing through your ears in the deafening silence. As the sun sets, casting an orange and purple glow over the cracked Earth, the illusion of being on another planet is absolutely flawless. It is a hauntingly beautiful, utterly lifeless terrain that demands respect and sparks a profound sense of cosmic wonder. Number 7 brings us to the breathtaking Grand Canyon in the United States. While it is one of the most famous tourist destinations on Earth, its geological features draw a direct parallel to the dramatic topography of Mars. Mars is home to Valles Marineris, a colossal canyon system that dwarfs anything on our planet. But the Grand Canyon is the closest terrestrial equivalent we have. Carved over millions of years by the Colorado River, the sheer cliffs reveal layer upon layer of ancient red rock strata. These deep crimson and rust-colored walls look astonishingly similar to the steep canyon walls photographed by satellite imagery from Martian orbit. Looking out over the seemingly endless expanse of peaks, plateaus, and plunging valleys, the scale makes you feel incredibly small. The arid environment, rocky outcrops, and warm color palette all contribute to an undeniably Martian aesthetic. If you were to remove the winding green river at the very bottom, you would be left with a rugged, dry chasm, perfectly suited for a science fiction epic. Taking the sixth spot on our list is the spectacular Namib Desert in Namibia. Believed to be the oldest desert in the world, the Namib boasts some of the tallest sand dunes on the planet, with some towering over 1,000 feet high. The most striking feature of this landscape is the intense, vibrant red color of the sand. This deep reddish-orange hue is the result of iron oxide, the exact same chemical compound that gives Mars its famous rusty complexion. As you travel deeper into the desert toward areas like Sossusvlei, the massive sculpted dunes create a flowing sea of red against a stark blue sky. At the base of these dunes lie white, cracked clay pans, dotted with the scorched, blackened skeletons of ancient acacia trees. The contrast is surreal, creating an eerie, post-apocalyptic vista that feels light years away from human civilization. Walking barefoot up these colossal red mountains of oxidized iron dust is perhaps the closest you can get to hiking the dunes of the Red Planet. Halfway through our list at number 5 is the highly unusual Rio Tinto in Spain. Unlike the dry, dusty deserts we have explored so far, this location is defined by a flowing body of water that looks entirely alien. The river flows with a dark, blood-red color due to the highly acidic water dissolving heavy metals like iron and copper from the surrounding earth. This creates an environment that is incredibly toxic to most forms of life, yet it is far from dead. Scientists have discovered extremophile bacteria thriving in these acidic, heavy metal-rich waters. Because the mineralogy and chemistry of Rio Tinto are strikingly similar to areas on Mars where liquid water once flowed, astrobiologists flock to this region. They study these unique microorganisms to understand how life might have survived, or could still be surviving, in the subsurface aquifers of the Red Planet. Standing on the rusty-stained banks of this vibrant crimson river feels like standing on the edge of a Martian discovery waiting to happen. Coming in at number 4 is the remote and frozen expanse of Devon Island in Canada. Located in the high Arctic, this is the largest uninhabited island on Earth, and for very good reason. The terrain is a brutal, barren polar desert, characterized by freezing temperatures, a lack of vegetation, and a rocky, shattered landscape. The crown jewel of this island's Martian similarities is the Houghton Impact Crater, a massive depression formed by a meteorite strike millions of years ago. Because the cold, dry conditions have preserved the crater so well, it is considered one of the most accurate geological analogs for the Martian surface. In fact, the landscape is so authentic that scientists established the Flashline Mars Arctic Research Station here. Researchers come to Devon Island to conduct field operations in simulated spacesuits, testing equipment and psychological endurance in preparation for future crewed missions to Mars. The biting cold, the endless fields of shattered gray and red rock, and the utter isolation make it a beautifully unforgiving alien world. Taking the third spot on our list is the bizarre and hostile Danakil Depression in Ethiopia. If you want to experience the extreme volcanic history of early Mars, this is the place to go. Situated at the junction of 3 tectonic plates, this is one of the hottest and lowest places on the surface of the planet. The landscape is a psychedelic wasteland of bubbling sulfur springs, neon green and yellow acid pools, and jagged salt formations. Magma flows incredibly close to the surface, creating an active, volatile environment that constantly releases toxic gases into the air. There is absolutely nothing natural looking about the bright, vivid colors painted across the crusty earth of the Dalal geothermal field. It looks exactly like the kind of toxic, mineral-rich environment you would expect to find on a young, geologically active alien planet. Navigating the Danakil Depression is a journey into an extreme, otherworldly domain that challenges the very limits of human endurance. Just missing the top spot at number 2 is the awe-inspiring Atacama Desert in Chile. This vast plateau holds the record as the driest, non-polar desert in the world, with some weather stations having never recorded a single drop of rain. The soil here is so devoid of moisture and organic material that it is virtually indistinguishable from the dirt found on Mars. In fact, when NASA tested the instruments destined for the Viking Mars landers, they used samples of Atacama soil to calibrate their equipment. The landscape is a breathtaking mix of salt lakes, felsic lava flows, and endless plains of oxidized red dirt and stones. Places like the Valley of the Moon feature jagged, wind-sculpted rock formations that jut out of the earth like the spines of ancient beasts. Because of the high altitude, lack of cloud cover, and zero light pollution, the skies above the Atacama offer the clearest view of the cosmos. Standing in this bone-dry red wasteland while staring up at the Milky Way is a profoundly humbling and deeply extraterrestrial experience. Finally, taking the #1 spot on our list is the majestic Wadi Rum in Jordan. Also known as the Valley of the Moon, this is undeniably the closest you can get to stepping onto the surface of Mars without leaving Earth's atmosphere. The sweeping valleys of deep, rust-colored sand are framed by towering, sheer-sided granite and sandstone mountains that have been carved by the wind over millennia. The sheer immensity of the landscape creates a sense of profound isolation and otherworldly beauty that cannot be overstated. The color palette is a seamless blend of crimson, burnt orange, and deep red, mirroring the Martian landscape with startling accuracy. It is so convincing that Hollywood blockbusters, most notably Ridley Scott's The Martian, chose Wadi Rum as the definitive filming location to represent the Red Planet. Exploring the dunes and canyons in a jeep, or simply walking across the fine red dust as the sun dips below the rocky horizon, is a transformative experience. There is a majestic silence here, an ancient energy that makes you truly believe you are an astronaut, exploring the final frontier. Wadi Rum is a masterpiece of nature and the ultimate destination for anyone dreaming of a Martian adventure. Our planet is filled with incredible, diverse environments that push the boundaries of what we consider to be earthly landscapes. These 10 surreal destinations prove that you do not need a rocket ship to experience the wonder of another world. Whether it is the frozen craters of the high Arctic or the scorching red dunes of southern Africa, the spirit of space exploration is alive and well right here at home. Each of these locations offers a unique window into the extreme conditions that define our neighboring planets. They remind us of the incredible geological forces that shape not only the Earth, but the entire solar system. So, if you are looking to satisfy your cosmic curiosity, you might want to add these terrestrial Martian landscapes to your travel bucket list. Thank you for joining us on this planetary journey across the globe. Keep exploring, stay curious, and never stop looking up at the stars.